Utica Curling Club on this snowy Sunday, February 12th. We're going to broadcast live today. I'll send a shout out to our master technician, Doug Smith, who is not with us today. So Roger Rowlett and myself, Dave Craig-Nolan, will do the broadcast for you. Roger will be the master tech today. And today is our finals of our ladies Calder Cup, Calder Trophy, that is. And that's going to be between the teams of MJ Walsh, skip, Michelle McEnroe, third, Barb Felice, the second, and Shirley Hutchinson, who is not playing today. And
Julie Gederos will be subbing in.
Julie Gederos will be subbing in for her. And against the team of Liz Nolan, skip, Karen Rogowski, third, Brenda Citronetti, second, and Becky Schaefer, the lead. We're about ready to go here. And right now, we are short a player. Julie Gederos is not here. So it looks like
she is in transit, I believe.
Okay, on the way on this snowy day. I don't know how far. I think she's coming from Clinton. But we're ready to go here. Hope you enjoy the game. Let us know in our chat if you're on and watching. If you got a nice signal out there, let us know.
And it looks like MJ Walsh will have the Yellow Rocks and Hammer in the first end. Liz Nolan's team shooting blue.
Little sticky ice to start there for Becky. Might take the players a couple of shots here to get used to the speed of the ice. Just a little brief side note here. The original Calder Memorial Trophy was purchased in 1956 as a memorial to John W. Calder. This would be the first rung in the women's ladder for skips in the Utica Curling Club, chaired by Liz DiGeronimo. So it looks like both players' ice might be a little stiff here already, Roger,
Yep.
It looks like, huh?
Only one team out here, and it's been frosting up all night, so I'm not surprised. Should pick up pretty quickly, I would guess.
See if Becky can make her adjustment here. And Brenda and Karen are working it over pretty good right from the get-go here. Looks like they're going to make the hog line with this one. Really working it hard. Not quite.
Looks like we might be running about 21 or 22 seconds here in the first end.
That's a good call. Nice adjustment here from Barb Felice.
Looks like better weight.
Looking forward to playing with Barb next. This coming weekend is our Marie Cobb tournament, our international tournament for mixed tournament. Two guys and two gals. And perennially I play with a team from Ottawa. It's a mixed team between Barb and I are the Utica players. And Heidi Rausch and Kevin Murphy are the players from Ottawa. Very much looking forward to that tournament. Real fun bonspiel, our Cobb, Roger.
Absolutely. Looking forward to trying to get back into that next year. So a nice draw by Barb Felice right on T-line, where you want those rocks on the wings.
Good looking shot here from Brenda Citronetti. Looks like she's going to freeze or tap it back just a little tap maybe. And it just
over curl just a hair.
Over curl just a little, leaving yellow shot rock as such.
Certainly no shortage of curl on this sheet. And again, just caught in a slow spot there.
It's funny, there's always a tendency when the ice is a little bit slow. You hate to put a push on it and then kind of take yourself out of rhythm for when the ice does speed up. So both teams had a little bit of a disadvantage here at the onset. Brenda Cintroniti trying to pick this rock out, I believe. Going to overcurl and be on her own. And did set the yellow rock out a little bit and make it a little more accessible. Wide open now.
That yellow still shot. Pushed it behind T-line. I think that's one factor.
Almost more of a reason to cover it up, huh, Raj?
Well, I hate guarding rocks behind T-line because then they just become freeze targets. So that gives the other team an out. So another option is to split the house here, and that's what MJ's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That rock was if the shot rock was above T-line, it would be perhaps worth guarding. A little less attractive to guard it when it's behind.
Yeah, those blue rocks kind of come into the play on the outskirts here, could make it a real hard draw, but I like that logic for sure. Just want to be 1 and 2 for sure here is all.
1 and 2 spread should do the trick, and another nice adjustment again.
Very nice shot from Michelle. Her first rock.
And those sit 1 and 2. Nice angle there, no double.
Liz going to go after shot rock here. No hammer. Would like to get a roll someplace. Roll behind the yellow one would be ideal.
Mainly just make sure you remove a rock here. And once you get the house split like this, you're really forcing the other team to start trading hits.
And she is going to come undercover with that. That's a good shot. Second rock.
Yep. Solid second, I think. Yellow still shot in the top of the rings.
My little splitty here, a little Mr. Splitty, Raj.
Split or a draw.
Yeah.
I think you could even draw close to the pile on the left and set up some jam opportunities.
Second rock from Vice Michelle McEnroe. Looking at the call shot that Roger called, drawing down to second rock, which is a blue rock behind the tee line. Looks real good. Kind of hanging out there just a little bit.
And the speed is picking up on the sheet now.
Yes, it is. It looks like it's going to tick it and go right through.
Yeah, speed is picking up on the sheet, and been down that path maybe a few times now and is starting to get a little quicker.
Funny how one shot can change the complexion of an end. It looked like yellow was certainly playing for 2. Now they're, if a successful takeout is made here by Karen Rogowski,
they'll be scrambling through force.
Right.
Well, this is the disadvantage of split. When you do split the house like this, the game can turn quickly on a half shot. So
Karen looking at a little strip of ice there like that rock may have picked on her.
Well, the right-hand side of the sheet does have a little more curl than the left, has been my experience.
Boy, don't I know.
All year long, right? Yeah, you remember that from there. Was it the Charbonneau?
Oh, boy. And I did it the other night in my Tuesday game in the Allen versus Jerry Archambault. I threw a rock in that same spot, and it curled like crazy. Can't be inside, that's for sure.
And again, this path is getting quicker. This rock is now sliding.
It looks like it's going to go through the house.
It was advantage back to MJ if they could stick a draw, and now advantage back to Team Nolan if they can make this hit.
Trying to get their...
so that path slicked up in a hurry.
It grooves here,
looked like it went from 21 to 24 in a flash. That's very frustrating when you're out there playing in the first end and the ice is constantly changing faster than you're adjusting to the changes.
Yeah.
Seems like you take a little off on every shot and you're still heavy.
Said I wasn't going to make her nervous, so. Liz Nolan expressed to me that she was a little nervous about being on camera. And I told her to just go out and focus and play the game, concentrate on your first few shots, kind of get into a groove. And that we're, when we're up here calling these games, we're rooting for everybody to make every shot.
Absolutely.
And the same would be, well, I can't say the same as in league night when we're in the men's ladder. We're not always rooting for the other opponent to miss. Certainly rooting for my opponents to make a good shot and me make a better one.
You want both teams to play well here in the championship final.
Of course.
And that one coasted wide. So now it'll be up to, we're down to Skip Rocks. MJ needs to make a good draw here to split the house and sit 2.
Seems like
I think they know the line.
To the end here.
They know the line here. It's just a matter of adjusting to the weight as the ice has been changing pretty rapidly here this first end.
And we're happy to announce that MJ Walsh's substitute lead, Julie Gederos, is in the building and getting her curling clothes on and will soon be on the ice. Hopefully she'll be on the ice for the start of the second end. She frantically just went trotting past us to the ladies' locker room.
Well, it's nice to have 2 sweepers for those draws, especially when I'm throwing them. So.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I haven't left one short all year.
Right. Shouldn't confuse that with leaving your sweeper short of breath.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, some guys are here for the workout, you know. It looks like MJ might have pulled the string on this one. I don't think they're going to get this to the park.
Yeah, well, everybody's been fooled down this line about the speed, so.
Yep.
And that one was short.
So now Liz Nolan will attempt her second shot at this yellow rock to try and force MJ Walsh to play for 1 here. Hopefully she got her butterflies out. Now she can.
Well, it can certainly apply a lot of pressure here. Make a hit and stick here. You'll be forcing a draw against 4.
Yes, sir.
You will not be able to hit this rock if it sticks on the nose.
You are right, my friend.
It'll be in the top of the ring, so that'll be a dead draw.
Big shot early in the game.
This one looks to be a little bit better line.
She's all over this one.
Looks like it's got it.
Nice throw
dead
from
nose. Might even get a little roll.
Little roll inside. Very nice shot from Liz Nolan. Butterflies appear to be gone.
This will be a draw for 1, and this will be on a new path as well. So hard to predict what the weight is going to be. The track right down the center of the sheet, bending toward the outside, has slickened up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This path will be just a little bit slower.
Well, it turned in an end that looked relatively harmless, like there couldn't be much that could go wrong in the end. Is turned into a very crucial shot here. This is hammer rock first end for MJ Walsh.
Last rock first end.
Looking to make a draw here for 1. Against 4. You heard MJ say help, meaning that she thinks it's light. And they're going to have to go really hard to get this rock there, Roger.
Yeah, and this was that new path, which is a lot slower.
And unfortunate for MJ, she's going to drop 4 in the first end
That'll
here.
be a steal of 4.
Yep. The always cheery MJ Walsh laughing it off as most of us right now, Roger and I might be on the verge of a tantrum right away.
Yeah.
But I'll speak for myself. I might have been on the verge of a tantrum there.
Well, I think you can't help be upset if you miss a draw early in the game.
Yep.
Tough first end, though. I hate making those draws in the first end on unknown ice.
So a little advantage here for Team Nolan moving forward to the second end. And, of course, an old adage in curling, you don't need to get every point all back at once.
Just grab a deuce here, and you're back in the game.
Right back in the game. Absolutely. Lots can happen.
Well, a long way to go. I remember playing a game with one of our younger up-and-coming skips in the men's leagues, and we were in exactly the same spot. We dropped 4 in the first end, and skipper was a little bit upset and said a lot of time, if you're going to drop 4, the best time to do it is in the first end.
Absolutely.
Give yourself some time, and we worked our way back to a tie game after 6.
Strange things happen in this game. In our Murray play down, our club championship, the team that I was playing with, Team Morehouse, Team DiGeronimo, and Israel Acosta, we got 4 in the first end against Team Platt, and they got 8 in the second end.
They doubled it up in the second.
Exactly. 12 points were scored in the first 2 ends, which is almost unheard of, but just everything has to happen in the right. And welcome Julie Getteros. Is that
Julie Getteros?
Getteros.
Yeah.
First rock, again, struggling a little bit with the...
she hasn't had the benefit of throwing the first end and knowing how slow this is.
Yep.
Apparently right now.
Nice adjustment here from Becky Schaefer. First one sailed through the park. It looks like she's got a really nice guard rock coming here. May overcurl her on her a little bit, but weight. Nice adjustment in the weight. No harm done with this rock getting onto the rings.
No, especially with a 4-point lead. Nothing wrong with that at all.
MJ's going to try and get a corner up here.
Yeah, get some guards in play. That's not a likely rock to score there. Top 12, top 8, not much of a threat yet. Plenty of time to get some guards in play here with the free guard zone.
Overswept a little bit here.
Overswept, yeah. Brought it in.
Nice throw from Julie Getteros. And now Brenda Citronetti first rock. Pretty sure Liz
4-point lead. I think you chase that rock.
Oh, God, yes. Opting to come with the in-turn. Center ice out. Line looks great. Looks like she's all over it. Kind of a little lazy handle there.
Not a ton of weight. That's just going to move it to the back of the house. Is it going to get through? Yeah, it'll just get through the rings.
And mission accomplished. MJ asking Barb Felice with her first rock to remove the blue rock in the 4-foot. Four-foot line, that is.
You can see there's a lot of curl on this line.
A lot of curl. Goodness, it might go by it. And it did. Wow.
Yep.
Unfortunate miss there for Barb. I know that spot of ice very, very well. There should be a little line on there that says Crags. Line.
There should be a warning sign. Caution, excessive curl.
I think we need to put a little sign up that says excessive curl over there. I'm gonna
Danger, curling rocks. We watched several college Bonspiel games on this sheet over the weekend, and everyone was being fooled by the amount of curl you could get on takeouts on this side, especially with the yellow rocks.
Not sure the call if she's trying to draw around this or tap it or guard it. I didn't see what she had asked for here. Center guard, not bad.
I don't think I'd want any guards at all here with a 4-point lead. I think I would just load the house up.
Yeah, it looks like that's what she's doing.
Just go top 12. And yeah, this is going to probably force MJ to start moving some rocks off the middle of the sheet.
Yes,
You need to be able to score.
Yeah.
I don't think those rocks are a terrible threat, but you need to open up a draw path.
Barb put a little more mustard on this one to keep it out there.
And this is actually very nice weighting.
And it's
They're
buckling.
just going to curl.
It's buckling. Might keep the rock.
Oh, well, they'll hang around for sure. And they want to roll it behind that corner if they can. Man, there's not a bad
That's a
spot.
beautiful shot.
That's a good spot.
Nice shot from Barb.
Boy, about a foot further, and that would have been the devil to remove.
No, we just saw an instance where two of the same team were sweeping. You want to explain to our viewing, our listening public how that works, Roger? MJ was sweeping the blue rock behind the tee line, and Michelle McEnroe was sweeping the yellow rock.
Right, so your own rock, you can sweep them anywhere on the sheet with any member of the team, unless it's behind tee. Only the skip or vice skip, who's behind the back line when the shot is thrown, can sweep the well, that's actually not true. The delivering team, anyone can sweep behind tee line as long as there's only one player on the team.
Yep.
If you're the non-delivering team, only the skip or vice skip can sweep. There's a miss. So that will
rock hung out on Karen Rogowski there. So for those of you playing at home, two people can actually be sweeping in the house. Believe it or not, three people can be sweeping in the house.
We can have all four,
right.
But only one of them can be behind tee line if you're
Right.
the delivering team. And I think where people get confused is delivering versus non-delivering team. For the non-delivering team,
too.
only one player can sweep behind tee line, and it must be the skip or the vice skip.
Right.
It can be either one, but only one of them.
It's funny how often, it doesn't happen very often that really does come into play, but it can get really crowded in the park if the rocks are close to the center. You know what I mean?
It can. Yeah.
I've bumped into a little gentleman bumping going on there trying to get in front.
Have them going every which way.
MJ calling for a draw here for Michelle's first stone.
Yeah, the question is, where do you want to put this rock to get your deuce?
Yeah, do you just split the park? Which would be a mission accomplished if she can go to the button here.
Yeah, the problem is that, well, with a 4-point lead, I'm guessing
Take a look,
Liz
ladies.
Nolan is hitting, but
Take a look. Take a look. Take a look. Now finish it.
they're starting to bite.
Now finish it.
Yep.
Nice throw from Michelle.
Very nice.
Very nice shot.
So not an easy double. That's a pretty steep double.
Yeah, it's a slash double. But
Very,
a tough
very
shot.
thin double.
Yeah.
Yeah, the question is
Just
where
a
to put that rock they just threw, and you could certainly split the house. And I'm guessing Liz Nolan would probably chase one of those rocks off. But the other option is, if they ever drew around the center, they could neutralize both rocks.
Absolutely. I like the draw.
So if you beat them to the 4-foot, then they really don't have any option but to hit something.
Karen Rogowski's second stone, second end, needing to hit something yellow here.
It's going to whip through the hole. Is
I'll
it going to
tell
make
you what,
the
I think
thin
she's going
double?
to tick and get them both. Great shot. And shot rock out of it. What a great outcome.
Yeah.
Now MJ's got to come soft, I think, at this one and try and tick and roll off it. Roll behind the two.
If you come just narrow by the yellow, you should be able to move the blue at least off of the 4-foot.
Yeah.
You want to bring your one on the top 4 into play.
Certainly. Kind of thought she might come a little softer at this, but
You can see about 3/4 of the rock from our camera view, so it's actually quite exposed. I think you or I would definitely take a shot at this with hacked aboard weight.
yes. Yep.
This is hanging.
Not got it. Going right by it.
Yeah, probably a little. That's a
Unfortunate
little straight.
miss
That's a
there
little
from
straight
Michelle.
spot there.
That's why if you come soft, you might have a little curl there,
Yep.
too. You know what I mean? I'm thinking you want to just throw back house weight and just bump it and flop. But that's okay.
moves.
Different semantics there. And hopefully they unfortunate miss. First skip rock from Liz Nolan.
And she's going to try to cover that path that was just used in an attempt to move that blue stone off the back 4.
Yeah, a good guard here is going to force MJ to come the other way and try and draw the pot. Still quite possibly bringing 2 into it.
This might be a little heavy.
Right in. This is going to come right to it and quite possibly have her sit 1 and 2. I think she's going to sit 1 and 2 at the end of this.
But it'll probably leave a better angle for the hit, and it will. So now this leaves a double, and it might even better, it might just leave a simple hit and roll underneath.
Yes.
It is possible to get to the inside of the blue rock that was just thrown.
Yes, it is. If she does that, the double won't be there, and she may still sit. I believe that the yellow rock is
the one on top
third
of the
rock
4
right now, so
is second rock.
Our second rock out counting this blue one in the back. So it's a big shot here for MJ. She can make a hit and flop right to the button here. She certainly is in a good spot to get her deuce, and quite possibly 3, depending on what Liz would do with her last rock.
You know, even if you hit this just a little high, you'd probably double the blues off the back, or at least push them to the back 12 and roll open for 1 and 2.
Right. And then up forward, does Liz get gutsy and try to draw the pot, or does she take that rock out and make her play for 2?
I think you're going to hit anything you can see. At least certainly I would. You can afford to drop a 2 here. You don't want to put a 3 spot in play.
Sure.
Not with a 4-point lead. And you'll have an opportunity maybe to hit and roll onto the 4-foot, depending on where this rock goes. Man, you would just love to get a little inside and roll underneath. And that would set up a possible 3. And that was set out a little bit. The weight was nice, just it was outside. You just sat outside.
Might tick it over.
Yep.
Should probably sweep to get it by. And now it's going to go right by. Unfortunate there for
MJ.
MJ.
A little bit of an inside-out delivery.
Yep. Gave it
weight was really nice.
Yep. Just floated out on her just enough to make it an unforgiving spot to come back. Now, strategy-wise, if this blue rock that is shot rock was up another foot, and she could come the other way and block the button completely, which really would be a
that would
put MJ in a real pickle.
That would certainly put yellow in a bind. But Liz will have to cover this side because that blue rock on the back 4 is a little bit vulnerable.
And that guard's going to work out fine for Liz. Tough spot. Looks like it's tough to get one to curl this way. Now MJ's going to be forced to.
Well, I tell you what, that rock over curled, so I don't know if it's possible to throw the same shot they just threw with the high guard and just tap that stone back. Probably not, looking at how the last rock ran, but it was a little bit of an inside-out delivery. But it looks like they're just going to
try to draw the blue circle for 1.
Full 4.
Yep.
And again, this side has not been played very much, so this will still be
sticky.
Probably a little bit slower than the side they're playing. So they'll have to make a little adjustment on this shot, both the shooter and the sweepers.
They both seem very confident about coming this way. I'm still thinking of that guard 5 feet from the hog line that I'm going to come around and try and draw this way on ice that I know, but we'll wish MJ luck here. This is going to take a real skilled shot to.
Right. Well, that was my thought. Is that guard really in play? Can he get enough curl to tap back that rock on the
She's
4
light
foot?
and narrow, unfortunately. And she's going to drop another deuce here.
Just one.
Oh, no, just one. I'm sorry.
Just the one.
Okay. Carry on here. And we were right about that ice being stiff out there.
Yeah, it hasn't been played. I mean, almost every shot was played on the other side of the sheet.
Yep. A lot of curling left.
Yep. Plenty of time yet.
Good shot here from Becky. Don't want any guards here. She's going to go right to the tee line, I believe.
Right to the top 4.
Very nice. Good throw.
Perfect spot. Corner guard up, other side. See if some offense can be generated here. Had a good setup last end. A little bit of a lucky shot by Karen Rogowski with that little thin wick and then redirect onto the 4 foot. That was probably not the called shot. Really got them out of trouble.
Yes, it did.
And unable to capitalize on the tap back. Corner guard up.
Good shot.
And that's in a good location.
Sweeper's getting a workout here on this one. It's definitely over.
This one's going to over curl though. And 2 guards in play is just what the doctor ordered if you're trying to catch up. So
absolutely.
There's a chance for a hit and roll to open up the rings and get underneath.
Yep. MJ Walsh looking for a break here. They haven't had any curling luck yet. So hopefully Julie can make a hit and roll behind these 2 rocks on the right side of the sheet and set themselves up for more than a single. Left it out just a little bit, that one.
Should come back, I hope.
And the woes continue for MJ.
This side is just a little straighter than the other side.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it floats a little bit there. Nice weight.
Even though that was a hair outside, it did not really move back a full stone with that weight. That was just board weight. So they'll have to make an adjustment. The left-hand side of sheet 3 going toward the scoreboard is just running a little straight, kind of like sheet 2.
Brenda Citronetti trying to throw a guard here. Guard up shot rock. Rock coming over nicely. And that's a pretty darn good guard. Perfect shot there from Brenda. Just touching the rings, it looks like. And now Barb Felice will play cleanup here a little bit with her first stone.
Yeah, run that blue off. Roll a little bit inside, you can get a double here, but main thing is you want to just make sure that guard goes away.
Barb asking MJ for a little less ice here.
I think you could even almost go edge of the rock. Get the inside roll. It just runs straight as a rope there.
Yes, it does. It's curling now a little bit,
now
though.
It's starting to come.
Might have them both. Nope.
Yeah, you had to hit that on the low side. You had to go low side.
Yep.
And you
either cross the face completely or stick it out a little.
Yeah, you had to cross. The safe shot
boy.
was to cross. That way, there's the shot that they're raising cannot possibly go onto the rings.
Correct. And you leave the other one exposed.
Right. You try to make the double from the high side. If you miss it, you're going to squirt the one you're raising into the forefoot area.
Sure. Kind of set it in a better spot than it was in.
Right.
More guards here for Team Nolan and Brenda Citroniti. Second rock, third end. I'm not sure. Oh, she was trying to hit this rock.
This one's hanging.
It might jam it right. Oh, no, it's going to be on top of it, I think. No, I think it's going to jam it.
Going to nut it.
Oh, my, what a mistake.
Yeah,
Unfortunate mistake
the
there.
risk with that shot.
A little brave, a little bit of a...
Yeah, a break.
A little bit of a break there. Finally a break for
a little bit of the curling break
Team
for
Walsh.
MJ.
Yep. You know, I had that many. I guess maybe you just junk it up further if you're Liz. But she played. She went game.
Well, I think it's okay to remove that stone. That's a usable stone. But once again, the pro side is you got to hit that on the low side, right? You need to cross over.
Absolutely.
And on this straight side, it's a little too easy to get wide. I think the shot's just to shoink another one right behind the center guard. You can probably stack 2 or 3 back there, don't you think?
Absolutely. Got to get a little courageous here too, because you're down 5 at this point. So got to get another. Got to get something yellow else and behind cover.
And if you don't come around the center here, then they're going to come around to the center and cut down the rings.
Oh. I guess it's okay to throw a guard here, but I would think if you're MJ, you'd want to.
You can bring it right in. You got 2 guards
right
in play, I think.
And
you can put a guard there and then tap it up, but you could just stick it in right now.
Sure. Whoops. A little wobble there from Barb. Nice recovery. Rock looks pretty good, too.
I think there's plenty of weight. This side's just a little quicker now. They've been playing this for a while.
This is actually going to tap the blue rock onto the rings, I think.
If they can get to the inside, maybe they can spin this over.
And it looks like it's off the rings, though. Mission accomplished there. Now, if you're Liz, do you try to come through this little port here with just kind of back house weight? Good things could happen for her here with Karen's second rock. Blue stones, Team Nolan, third end.
Well, there's lots of yellow rocks available for tap-ups, so I just wonder if you want to get rid of one or the other. It's like they're trying to squeeze through the hole, maybe.
Yep, that's exactly what she's trying to do. And it looks like she's got it. Tick. Oh, what a great shot. And she skittered it off the rings and wound up shot rock. What a great shot. Great shot. Very nice from Karen.
Low risk shot, because if you run one of the guards off, that's just fine.
Right. Well called. She gave herself a little bit more ice, and probably a good thing that she did. Again, we're going over on this relatively unplayed ice over here. If it overcurls, you have a chance of raising the yellow rock up that's just inside the 4-foot line.
Right. This is definitely going to be slow out here. Yep. And Michelle gave that a lot extra, and it's still coming up short.
Yeah, a little hit and roll to the center would be great here, huh?
That would be fine. Just make that
Yeah.
yellow one go away.
Yeah, sure.
That's a very raisable rock.
You take a risk of jamming it on the back, but I think the call is that you have to go and play aggressive here. Up 5, sitting 1, second rock, third end. Vice Karen Rogowski throwing blue rocks. Wow, this rock really buckled. Might jam. And it's gonna.
And will.
Yep. Okay, so a little bit of a break there. Rock really made a big move close to the hog line. Now I think MJ's got to go for the pot here, huh?
Go around those guards.
Yep. Sit 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's how you're going to generate your offense, is get some rocks hidden.
And there's certainly guards there to do it with, Ron.
And this is the easier, well-known path. So,
yep.
But this is a little straight. Sweeping furiously. Just taking maybe a little too much ice on this side. There's just not as much finish.
And it's going to go to the back 8, I believe.
Well, once it's open, you might as well take her back because
yes, you want to give them the chance to hit. And
then they roll underneath those guards, and you're not going to be able to score. This does give Liz Nolan, though, a chance to stick one around those guards above T-line.
Fooled the sweepers a little bit on that one. They were really pummeling that rock like they thought it was light.
Because of the way the play is developed in the first 3 ends, they've played almost exclusively on this left-hand side of the sheet as we go toward the scoreboard. And so this is a lot quicker than the right-hand side. So when you go back and forth, there's going to be quite a contrast.
Yeah, one side's probably playing about 21 and the other side's playing 24.
Yep.
Big shot here from Liz. If she can get one behind these guards, shot rock, it's going to make create havoc for MJ.
And again, they've gotten on this straight line.
Going to be enough to take this rock out, I believe. Certainly freezing on it's not horrible. Now it's going to bump it back. And not off the, don't know. I don't think it's off the rings.
Keeps it in play, I think.
So here we go. This is doors open here for MJ. A little flop and roll here, and she can.
It's behind T-line, but this is the chance you have to take here.
Of course.
You got to put some three. You got to put 3 rocks in play here.
Yeah, you got to drive, and it's shot rock. I mean, you got to.
You're hoping for a miss. They're gonna. Liz will have to draw with her last shot, and she'll need to stick it buried because she'll be drawing against 3.
Sure. If MJ can hit and roll to the right side of center here, it should be in business and force a good shot from Liz.
Yeah, if you can get underneath, it'll force a cold draw for Liz to sit shot and buried. You'd almost like to be able to roll left so you didn't leave any backing, but unfortunately you can't roll left without jamming on the back yellow. So rolling under here would be terrific.
Better go. Better go hard. Better go hard. Good looking shot here from MJ.
You need to catch it pretty thin and get a good long roll,
Great
and
shot.
that's a great roll.
That's a great shot from MJ. Jubilant Michelle McEnroe at the other end. Well thrown, well called, well swept. In one of my favorite sayings in the curling club by fellow curler and always a gentleman, Sean Lanigan, that was a good team shot.
Indeed.
Now Liz Nolan with back against the wall here. She can really be a savior to her own cause here if she can stick one on the top of the 4-foot circle, out counting the shot rock behind this junk. She's going to force MJ to play for 1, and it won't be easy getting there.
And needs to make a good draw here.
If this is by, this is money.
It's going to be short, I think.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's still going.
I
They
think
got
it's
it going.
all there.
Oh, that is a great shot.
She stuck it on the pot. Just a little back.
I
button.
think it's
Great
tappable.
shot.
It is tappable.
Beautiful shot. So now, MJ, this rock, where I'm sitting, I'm looking right down the center line. There's 2/3 of this rock showing. So
Absolutely.
she comes soft weight here and can just cross the face of this rock and tap it through. She has an opportunity to get 4.
I think if you throw backline weight, you can get 3, and if you catch it really full, you might get your 4 here.
Yep.
Don't want to overthrow this.
No, you're just looking for just, what do you think, like back house weight here?
Yeah, no more than hack. I'd say just
Yeah.
through the rings weight to
Yeah.
maybe hack.
Yeah. Because you want to curl, you don't want to, it runs a little straight here, so you don't want to take the curl out of it by being a little heavy. And if nothing else, you come down to it and tap and get your 1 or 2. But real opportunity for MJ to get back in the game here. So this is one of those you got to take a deep breath and like the broom and say, okay, I'm going to throw this weight. You visualize the shot in your mind and let it go.
Want to see that nice hack waiter.
It looks like the right weight.
We're not wide. Needs to work. And here she comes. This looks like terrific weight.
It's going to jam it on the other one, I think. No, it got through. And she's going to get 4.
And there you go.
What a great shot from MJ.
Terrific shot. Nice touch shot.
What a great shot. Absolutely. Nice touch to get herself back in the game. And
we got us a ball game, folks.
Got us a ball game. All right. Great shot. Beautiful shot. The right weight. It was just that through the house kind of weight that she was looking for. And sweepers never had to touch it. It was a made shot out of her hand. So
I think that's the type of throw that really distinguishes the top players from the players that are still waiting to arrive, is being able to throw those kind of down weight touch shots.
Well, that's well said, because the now, number one, if you think about the job at hand and that you're behind by 5 and you get running over these scenarios in your head as to the what ifs and the what. I've been a member of this club a long time, and I've curled for 20 years, and I that is well said on your behalf, that the difference between being a good skip and just skipping are being able to know those, feel confident in making those shots and executing them. Well played. So after 3 ends, it's Team Nolan 5, Team Walsh 4. We're on to the 4th end.
And we suddenly have us a brand new ball game.
Yeah, fun.
Anybody's game from here.
Yep.
So good patience for Team Walsh on that. They caught a break early and managed to capitalize on that last end.
Whoops. Little slip there from Becky. Looks like she's okay. He actually delivered the stone quite well, considering she slipped through a little bit of a spinner, so she didn't get any curl on it.
The luxury of getting that 4 is it's now not suddenly urgent that you have to steal this end.
Right.
You can kind of go for a soft steal. Give up 1, get 2, suddenly you've got a tie game.
Another rock. This might be right on the button.
Yeah, this side is still a little slow.
Top 4.
That looked like that was coasting through the back, and that dug in.
It did. Out of her hand, I would have called through the house on that one, but it really checked up. This is one of those hit something shots.
Yeah, please hit something.
Please hit something yellow. down weight. Looks like she's got a good shot here. They're really working it over to try and keep line.
As long as it's got enough weight to push it through.
Maybe.
And yellow's still 1 and 2. Now the one on the top 4 is eminently guardable.
Yep. Center guard. CMJ looking over her options here. As you heard her chuckle, have a little chuckle with herself, she said, I don't know where to put this one.
Well, I don't think you need to chase third rock. And they're not looking at the center guard. They don't have hammer this end, so.
Center guard wouldn't be a bad call here. Tough hit and roll. It's behind the tee line. She's opting to freeze to this rock, I believe. Barb Felice, first rock, fourth end. Certainly a little tap, and tapping this blue rock through the rings wouldn't be a bad scenario. It's got to do some curling, though.
Well, if you're not going to try to steal, I would certainly want to be getting rid of the blue rock.
Correct. And it's going to go right by. Liz lining up this takeout for Brenda Citronetti.
Possible double?
Yep, possible doubles there. Just off nose, gets them both. It's got a chance.
If it's got the weight, it's got a chance. Just going to catch the nose.
Had to come up just a little bit more. It had just enough weight to do it, too. Good throw.
Now MJ's going to have to chase a blue rock. They're sitting first and third and don't have hammer.
Yep, gotta hit here. Hit and stay right there.
Need to hit this low side.
Yep.
This side does curl, so that should not normally be a problem on this side of the ice.
It's going to curl like crazy.
It's coming fine.
Yep.
And caught it on a proper side. Going to get a nice. Oh no!
Gotta get them both.
Over curled. Over curled.
Left everything on. I think this rock's off the rings, though.
It's off far enough. Curly side of the ice. Caught them by surprise again.
Yeah, we've been watching that that rock with that kind of weight really will take off. I fired one in that spot on Tuesday night of this past week, and it curled 16 inches.
We got to get our cardboard sign out there. Danger of curling rocks. You got to get it out. The big yellow sign, right?
Or even in the ice would be fun.
Yeah.
Get one of those little placards to put in the ice.
Yeah, there you go.
Excessive curl.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
This is over curling.
I don't know. This is going right through the hole. Wow. Excuse me. No hammer here for MJ. I would think she's got to give Shot Rock some shelter or put another one.
I wouldn't mind taking off
that blue rock out.
Yeah, you're not really stealing this end. I think taking off the shot
takes two out of play, right?
That's right.
Yep, I think so too.
I think taking off blue rock would. I mean, you're not stealing. You're playing for a force at that point.
Correct. Yeah, I think you can't hurt yourself getting rid of this blue rock. That's second rock, but she's opting for a center guard.
Or just drawing, and that's the other way.
And blocking the rings too.
The only downside to this, if you don't stick the draw, then you're putting
clearly not.
You're putting two back in play.
So Michelle came up a little short there. Just made the hog line. Now if you're Liz, do you draw or do you hit this and sit two? Either or, right?
Playing behind tee line, tough to get your deuce back there.
Yep.
I think if you want your deuce, you throw one top four. The rock on the back of the rings, it's not going anywhere. You might be able to bring that into play later.
Mm-hmm. First rock, Karen Rogowski.
I think you could stuff 2 or 3 rocks behind the center guard if you wanted.
Looks like she's throwing a hit. Doesn't curl here. This one's coming enough to stick around. One and two.
And now you're going to be forced to hit.
Yep. Yes. MJ was pointing like she was going to freeze to this rock.
They're doubleable.
Nose hit, gets them both.
Even crossover just a hair will get them both.
Mm-hmm.
Main thing is just stick around here.
Yes. Hurry.
Not going to get the double, but she's going to sit 1 and 2. Nice shot.
1 and 3.
Or 1 and 3, I
Yep.
mean. 1 and 3.
And, well, this just sets up the same scenario again.
Yep.
Good throw. They had been out there, didn't know what the curl was going to be like.
Sometimes, at the level that we play at, too, there's an element of maybe it's not the right shot. It's not the right shot to do, but it's the shot that maybe makes the most sense, if that makes any sense at all.
Well,
Like we're chasing behind the tee line here, but still, if you can flop and come to the center, you're going to force the other team to have to throw a perfect shot. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's how MJ got 4 the last
Right,
time.
exactly.
That would never have been a factor
This
for
is
making
going right
4
by
with the
it.
pros. This is going to slide by, and it's going to
And
double
chip
out
herself
the blue.
out. Oh, my. Change the complexion of the end here now. Wow. Unfortunate miss there. Setting Liz up for...
Lots of options here.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 12 and sit 3 is not a bad call here.
Even top 4 foot. Just touching the 4 foot right in the center.
Well,
behind the guard.
I would say a lot of skips would probably just come right around to the top 4, ignore that rock on
Sure.
the back.
Yep.
Make sure you're full in the 4 enough that the
Yeah.
hit and roll off that back one is not a saving shot.
Right, and smartly coming this way. If you're a little short, you wind up with a guard, eh?
Right.
So,
Or half cover.
Yep.
They're looking just to guard that rock on the back gate, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with coming around top 4 foot behind that high center. It'd be a hard rock to remove.
It's definitely got enough weight.
Yeah, and this is the quicker side, so
MJ waving her hand like she knows it's heavy. It's going to come right to her stone. You want to make sure you're logging. You don't need to bump here. No bump if you can get it. Got a little bump. That's unfortunate.
going to leave a bit of a pocket.
Ladies look like they're having a good time out there in a close game here for our Calder final. Roger and I were certainly having a good time.
Hey, you bet. Well, these rocks are all behind tee line, so it's still hard to get your deuce here.
Yep. Hit that one and flop right in front of the other one. Not bad.
Then draw on top, and
Yep.
then you're playing for 1.
Sure. You're hoping for a miss.
Hoping for a miss,
for
yeah.
2.
When you're playing back here, the only way you're going to score multiples is to get a miss. Which you'll get in this game. But you can't live or die by those. You're not always going to get them. You play a good team, you won't get very many.
Yeah, you can't hope for the other team to miss.
Yeah, they're not very cooperative that way, you know? They never do that for me.
Exactly. Even when they miss, sometimes things have a way of working out. This is a very funny game because you can curl really well and lose, and you can curl really mediocre and win, or you can curl outright bad, and the other team just not make any opportunities out of their shots and also win. So it's a strange game in that respect.
Well, the cruel part of the game is it's not often how many times you miss, although that certainly stacks percentages against you, but it's when you miss.
Liz left this shot out a little bit. Karen's going to try and sweep for the double, but I don't think she's going to get it. No, and then
All right, so MJ will have a chance to improve upon her last draw. And this would force Liz into a draw against multiples. I think especially in club curling, a winning strategy is that when you don't have the hammer, if you're not stealing, at least make sure you're making the other team draw against 2 or 3.
right. And try to clutter the middle up as much as you can. You can see right now the middle is pretty down. The rings are wide open here right now. That was one of the first things I learned as a skip, is that no hammer. Try to get the middle cluttered up. And if you have the hammer, try to keep the middle opened up as much as you can. It doesn't always work out like that. And I've bent the rules here a little bit over the years with corner guards, and I'm not sure at the level that we play at that going for the 4-foot circle is not a bad strategy at the level that we play it at, as opposed to putting corner guards up. I've seen that backfire for me time and time again at the level we play it at. And I know that's a rule of thumb in curling, but it hasn't always been a benefit for me personally.
This looks like a much better shot. Might as well put this one on the rings.
Yep, looks like they got it.
And they got it on the rings, and now they're sitting 3. So this will be this will force Liz Nolan for a draw against 3. She's gonna have to draw the stinky slow side.
True.
And this is the spot that MJ was put in the first 2 ends.
Yep. You got to give yourself plenty of ice and try to throw to the back 8 foot is really the shot here. In my mind, I'm thinking I want to throw this shot to the 8 foot circle behind the tee line with the slow ice.
With no sweeping, and you'll wind up sweeping it to tee, maybe.
Absolutely.
You got to pitch it here.
Yep, you got to throw a little weight here. Coming the other way is a disastrous, because it can overcurl and pop. She's running the risk of.
See, they don't like this side, and I don't blame them, as I would not relish drawing the slow side of the ice. The problem is if they want to draw around the shot that MJ just threw, they're still going to be on the slow side because they're going to be out pretty wide here.
Yeah.
6-1, half a dozen the other.
Yep, she's got to take a chance with this.
Yeah.
Well,
suddenly the shoe's on the other foot.
Yes, it is.
Funny how this game changes.
It is funny how this game changes. And certainly if she gets one in the 8 foot and doesn't outcount, she's still only going to drop 1 and create a tie game, which is not wouldn't be the end of the world. If nothing else, she wants to outcount both of those rocks in the 12 foot. They don't think it's going to curl much. She's only 5 or 6 inches off the 4 foot line. So Liz Nolan, hammer stone, 4th end, looking at 3. And she threw it out, but it might be saving grace that she's a little heavy. And I think they got to go. I think they got to go. Looks real good if they keep going. Got to go. Got to go. Got to go. Got to go.
And it's going to be short.
It. Oh, unfortunate. That was a great shot. So MJ steals 1. We got a tie game here after 4 ends. Liz threw a really good shot. There's no shame there. That was just a unfortunate misread there.
And she really pitched it too, knowing it was slow on that side.
Yep, she threw a great rock.
One of the things I always tell my front end is, like, when you're throwing that shot there, back 8's good as front 8, guys.
Absolutely.
You can oversweep that 6 feet and we'll still make the shot.
Exactly what I was thinking, in that that mentality of Liz's throw there. It was just right. The speed, it looked like a lot out of her hand, but it was on slow ice, so it lost its momentum. But she threw a pretty darn good rock there.
You know, as a front-end player, I always say, the thing you got to think is you're going to put this rock on the tee line, because the tee line is where it's going to be closest to the pin. You put every rock on tee line, that's your goal. If you're 3 feet short, you're okay maybe, and if you're 3 feet long, you're still okay.
Exactly.
So just put every rock on tee line, show the other team you can do it. Sometimes it's just the psychology, too. You just want to show the other team, we own this tee line, All right, brand new game. Tied up after 4 innings of play. Team Walsh with the Yellow Rocks throwing first. Team Nolan playing the Blue Rocks will have the hammer here in the 5th end. Well, the guard split open, so now Julie Gederos will be asked to replace center guard.
Shout out to Joe Cosentino out there. Looks like we've got some listeners online there and viewers. Hello from Death Valley. Wow. I'm taking it to Joe's in California. I think that's where Death Valley is.
And must be on a photo shoot.
Yeah. I bet you don't have a foot of snow accumulating. And I think we do.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe more. We all braved the elements today to get out here to not only to call the game, but certainly the players came from, I'm trying to think as far away. I think they're all pretty local folks. Julie might have the longest. No, actually Brenda lives in Sequoia, New York, so she's got a kind of bit of a commute, she and Phil.
You can blame the college bonspiel. Every year we have that bonspiel.
We get
it snows a ton. Yeah, we were just lucky this year. It came Thursday and Sunday. We got our spiel in and nobody got stuck.
Oh, if this has got legs, it's going to be great. It looks like it might just run out of gas.
Well, it certainly was going to go through the hole. That was for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's shaping up into a great game here. We started off with a 5-0 lead for Team Liz Nolan, throwing the Blue Rocks, and MJ Walsh and company have clawed their way back into this game, drawing for 4, or a tap and stay for 4 in the 3rd end, and they just stole 1 in the 4th end. So we've got a knotted up 5-5 tie in the 5th end. Curling games are so much more exciting when they are close.
Looks like they might be going for the tick.
That might sail right through the park.
Not sure the tick would have helped him anyway. Probably we just would have redirected onto the guards.
Yeah, I think so. It's far enough out where just a minuscule of a tick.
Yeah. You'd almost have to sweep it to miss to get it that thin. Those are tough ones to salvage.
They are.
There's not much you can do. Sometimes you just hope that they come through the hole and they hit a snowbank or something, right?
I think, Roger, what we should do is we should put together a whole sheet of cliches. Anything that you start as simple as heavy, wide, sticky, narrow, all the things in the words describing curling games and curling rocks, heavy, over and up, tick, back line. It would really, it can be a confusing game to begin with. But
we actually started a glossary on our website, and it's about 3 pages long now. Yeah. We keep adding some new colorful phrases as we hear them.
Yep. And there was a classic example of the previous shot that we said we didn't think could get by with a tick. That was kind of a bigger hit than a tick. But
that was more of a clunk than a tick. Yeah. Well, we certainly have a pile of granite up front, and this is setting up to be a possible steal opportunity with all those guards in play.
Yep.
Some of them overlapped, which is going to make life miserable for removing them.
Barb had a pretty good line with her first one, and she's definitely adjusted her weight here. Michelle and Julie are working it over.
Tell you what, the line is terrific.
Plenty of weight.
Yes, yes. Hurry!
Line is really good if they can get it there.
Hurry! Come on, girls!
And they got it on the rings.
Yes, they did. Barb Felice thanking her her sweeping tandem for getting her rock there. She adjusted her weight nicely there on that shot. One more broom, it would have been dynamite to get that to the top of the 4-foot circle.
Well, if we go for it and you hit the guard, that's not terrible, right? It still moves stuff around.
Room here to come around. 2/3 of a rock exposed here. She's definitely got it.
Boy, they just don't move much there. That ran really straight.
And just going to skid her off the rings. It does not curl much there at all. Welcome Conrad Law to the broadcast booth. Getting ready for our Cobb tournament coming on this Thursday. Work of many hands, but Conrad and Ioka predominantly run a great tournament every year here. We're grateful to have them.
And it's a full house again this year? 32 teams?
Nice, 32 teams for our Cobb tournament.
One of the few remaining true mixed spiels, really, around these days. There are a lot of open spiels, very few true mixed spiels. Nashua runs a really great one. I think the Cobb has got to be one of the more popular ones, or certainly a value with 4-game guarantees and everything that
great food. Theme night, which I believe is vaudeville this year.
And house parties. I mean, it's
absolutely a great spiel.
Quite a competition and weekend.
Definitely
event.
a feather in the cap to Conrad and Ioka. They're getting to be old pros at running the tournament.
They're so good at it, they may have to run it forever. I see Conrad laughing. He's ready to throw his beer at me, I think.
Do we have any new teams in, Conrad? Are there any new teams coming to the tournament? Oh, wow. Conrad has just informed us that there are 6 new teams participating in the Cobb this year. That's always fun to have new folks come in from out of town. I don't know anybody that's not had a good time at the Cobb. I look forward to it every year.
Well, a couple of draw attempts here have been a little on the heavy side. And here we are behind T-line again.
Seems to be kind of a pattern of the game thus far. Second stone from Vice Michelle McEnroe. I think she'd love to have one in front of the T-line behind these guards.
Well, I'd say anywhere from top 4 buried to frozen on the back is a pretty good shot.
Yep.
So a lot of room for error on this shot. A lot of good outcomes.
Weight looks great.
Just needs to curl. Here it comes.
Still toasty.
And it hooked all of a sudden.
It did take a big move.
Took a huge move, and this is going to go right to the top 4.
That's about as good a shot as you're going to get with that. That's
well,
perfect.
I tell you what, that is. If you couldn't have set that rock down by hand any better.
Superb shot from Michelle McEnroe.
You are not pushing that one back.
Mm-mm. So now Liz is going to have Karen draw right behind this rock that was just thrown. And then she just pointed to the rock like she wanted to tap it. So I'm not sure exactly what she asked her to throw here. With this ice, there's definitely not ice for a draw.
Well, you could go to the back one for a shot if you can get by the top yellow, and that's no easy task.
Mm-hmm. Interesting game, though. The shots that are having to be called because of the way ends are setting up are really kind of exciting to watch here. And I think she's going to get the shot you were looking for, Roger. I think if this is by, it's going to come to the backer.
I think it's just going to click.
It is going to click. And still be shot rock.
Click and roll for shot, but
Yep.
it is open. I think you could just nose it and sit right there.
Boy, that would be ideal, huh?
You could even get a little inside roll.
Boy, that would be even better. Get half behind the blue one.
Yep.
Well, MJ, doors open again here for a steal end for MJ. She's sitting second rock here. Will attempt to take out shot rock. And as Roger just pointed out, a little roll to the center. Nose hit's fine. Don't want to really roll away here and leave
If you roll
Liz
away,
a chance to draw.
Yeah, you roll away, you may jam in the back, and this is one of those shots where you definitely do not want to catch this rock wide. If you catch it wide, you better catch a half a rock to go over the top of those two stones in the back.
Not taking much ice. We haven't seen a great deal of curl with weight here.
No.
She looks like she's tight.
And she's really tight. Well, I think she also started it. Well, they're holding it.
My God, it might be by.
They're holding it.
Oh,
It just ticked.
Now she's actually exposed her second rock a little bit.
Yep.
Where Liz could actually come down. I'm not sure what to do
It'd
here,
be
though.
still hard to push it back.
Still hard to push it back. Ideally, I guess it would be. I don't know if you play that. I don't know if you can play that.
It's there. I mean, you can see an eighth of a rock,
Yep.
maybe.
Because the outcome is going to be you're going to flop over and leave the double. But
Quite possibly, you might leave a double up front. But Liz isn't in terrible shape now. She's sitting second.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
she's
got
sitting
hammer.
first and third here.
yep. What happens if you come soft and hit right in between them? Real soft.
It's probably not a
And
good
push the
outcome.
yellow one out to the 8-foot circle and sit 1 and 2, moving the blue one kind of out another couple feet.
Yeah, I don't
Trying
know.
to have her get more than one here. I'm thinking of how to get more than one. To get more than one, you got to move the yellow rock.
Yeah, that is correct. The only question, well, I mean, if you want to move the yellow rock, you probably
Just go after
need
it.
to go ahead and throw your hack weight, tap weight, tap
Right,
back
and flop
right now.
over and forget. Don't worry about where your shooter goes. Just get rid of it.
Flop in front and
That's
leave
not
the
bad.
double.
I think that's what she's looking at.
If you throw the freeze here as a setup shot, then MJ will probably just guard up and give up one.
Right, exactly.
And you won't have a chance at, if you freeze, you're actually trying to set up a score of 3 or 4. And at that point, you just cover. If you could push out this yellow rock and leave the double.
It's like she's
one
throwing
of-
a guard.
Yeah. One of the things Mike Kessler's always said is no double's a gimme.
It's very true.
You know, so you can leave a double, but at our level, those aren't 90% opportunities, even if they're set up nice.
Even for you and me.
Not happening.
No. Liz Nolan, I think she's throwing a guard here. I thought that was the consensus. Corner freeze on the yellow rock, not bad. Brenda pointing out that the rock is a little heavy. You know, ideally, a little tap on her own might not be horrible here. Just a little nudge is not bad here. A little
You're going to
nudge.
get the pocket freeze.
Boop. And a bop. Okay.
Now the question is, can you double the blues off? And yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Nose hit.
Nose hit does the trick.
And you sit two.
And it doesn't hurt you anymore because even if you miss it and you get a jam and they're sitting one, they're already sitting one.
Right.
So you haven't done any damage, and your shooter will be up front. So I think it's well worth taking a run at this.
Yep. And I think that's what MJ and Michelle are looking at. She can hit this rock on the nose. One, she'll have the rings cut down and make a very difficult shot for Liz to get two. Definitely what she's looking at here. Yep, this is hit all day.
And you know, if you over curl and you catch this on the low side, you still got a double.
You're right. The only thing that doesn't work is if it crosses the face a little bit, you'll jam it in there for one.
You got to get over. You got to cross about a half a rock.
Sure.
Two ways to make this.
Yep.
And the miss is acceptable because I don't think you're going to be able to drop more than one.
I agree. If she skitters by this rock, there's no easy task to get shot rock for Liz.
Exactly.
But she's definitely going to be, she's got a real chance at a deuce here.
This is going to be the crossover shot. We're going to catch a half a rock.
Got to come up thin. No, it's going to jam it. And unfortunately.
Yeah, they needed to let that come up, and now they left, because they didn't cross over enough, they've left a draw.
What a great game.
If they had just crossed over just a hair more.
A little more to the top side.
Stay right off it.
Yeah.
If they stayed right off that, we might have got the double the other way.
Yep. So now she's got to touch a piece of the blue circle. I personally am coming the other way. This is maybe take one and run. What you don't want to do is over curl and hit that yellow rock at all. If you touch that yellow rock, she's going to give up. She could very well give one up here.
You could give up one because that might just run over a piece of the button.
Come the other way, there's no risk of that.
And she only needs full four, right? So you could get that either direction here.
Mm-hmm. She's got a great looking shot here. She's got a great looking shot. She stuck it. She stuck it. She totally stuck it.
Oh,
maybe. Oik! Little deep.
It's going to be, no, it's only one.
It's one. Great shot, though.
Good try.
Good shot. Good. Great shot from Liz Nolan. Good shot. Great shot. What an excellent game we're being treated to here. Roger?
Yeah, and it's a 1-point lead for Liz Nolan after 5 ends of play.
Very exciting.
And Jay Walsh with the Yellow Rocks will have the hammer here in the 6th end.
Absolute great shot from Liz Nolan. You know, she couldn't touch the Yellow Rocks that were in the center, and she was just literally a foot and a half too heavy.
Good result, getting a force of 1 in 5. Now the critical 6th end. Really important for Team Walsh here to get score 1 or 2 this end. You want to make sure you score this end.
Just got a nice big smile from Liz Nolan. I know she was a little apprehensive about playing on camera, and she's actually curling a superb game. So it's a lot of fun. It's fun for us to watch, and it's fun for the players to. We hope that it's fun for the players to be. None of us are superstars at this game, and
it's not our day job.
No, and to do what we've done in this club between Roger and Doug and any other powers that be. I think Stu Card has a hand in it. If I leave anybody out, I certainly would apologize for that. But this is a very novel thing that's going on in our game of curling, and I'm not sure that there's many curling clubs both here and in Canada, that are doing quite what we're doing as far as the broadcasting our games goes. So big major kudos to all the powers that be. I feel blessed that I can show up and, what element of expertise I might have in this game, that I can relay it to the people watching. It's a lot of fun for me to show up, although I have absolutely no technical end of the of what's going on here. But I'm glad that they include me on it, and I'm really enjoying it.
Well, it's been great. We can spread some interest of curling about.
And the sport definitely needs that industry-wide, both in Canada and in the States. I know Roger and MJ have done a spectacular job with the college kids and getting involved, and hopefully, they're not all going to stay here after their degrees, but the ones that do, hopefully they'll be the next guard of pass the torch to them.
Many of them are going to be members somewhere, and we do have a lot of college curling alumni who are instructors, club officers, board members at other clubs now. So
that's so good to hear.
They've carried the torch, and they really enjoy the game. Okay.
This is This is going to be a great shot.
MJ trying to get around that corner guard.
She made it.
They're going to stuff it.
Beautiful shot from Julie Guerreros. Very nice shot.
Sorry, no Pam. Sit on the ice. You see this one? Good shot. Good shot, Jim. You can see it? I can't hear you.
Can't see much of it.
Mm-mm.
Just a tiny piece peeking out.
Can surely follow it down. Certainly don't want to bounce, but following it down and somewhere in between the yellow and the two yellows wouldn't be bad. Nice tight freeze or a corner freeze. Corner freeze would be the shot and shot rock. Just no bounce. If you bounce, you're going to be out in the open. I think she's going to be on the guard here.
If you go after this rock, what you want to make sure you do is you run the corner. And that's pretty much just going to nose the corner. And now that'll give MJ and her team a chance to set up a deuce.
What a great game.
Couple options here. You can go around the corner again, or if you're not going to clear that center guard, which is an option, you just bury one behind the center guard.
Yes, indeed. Looks like this is the shot that I would call that she's going after.
Stick another one above the tee line behind the corner.
I like it.
Lock in two.
Yep. Make going after this rock harder to get if you can get somewhere not directly behind the blue one.
This looks very heavy.
Boy, this is going to promote the blue one on the rings if it over curls. And that's exactly what it's going to do. Might not be a bad outcome, though. It doesn't get to be shot rock, but it's actually going to be shot.
It's going to be shot rock.
Boy. A little less weight. That would have worked out. It would have done the same thing that she was trying to do with it, except with their stone, with the blue stone. Tell you, a corner freeze on your own rock here wouldn't be bad, Roger. Really curling hard. I don't know if it's by the guard. I don't know if it's by the guard. Oh, it looks like it's going to tick. And yeah, it kind of achieved the goal, though.
Well, you got to move that rock. You got to get rid of the guard.
Yep.
Guard's got to go. Either way, you've got to hammer this in. You need to score. Guard's got to go. Yeah, MJ's got the right idea. That guard has got to go. You need to open up.
Yep.
Shot rock, and if nothing else, just open up a draw path.
If you can run that blue rock into a third of the blue rock, you're going to get them both.
Could be lucky, yep.
Oh, boy. Looks like more of a nose hit.
And almost got lucky
Oh.
on that one.
Man. So she cluttered things up a little bit for herself with hammer here.
Well, they can run their own rock the next time, and they don't have to worry about the double. They can just stick it on the nose.
Come around the other way. I shouldn't say that. I'm saying I would come around the other way.
That's an awfully tough shot, guarding a 12-foot run back.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would do it.
Cover the draw path the other side.
Yeah, and if you're short, you cut the rings down, right?
Right.
Okay. You don't want to move this and do it for her either. It's a fine shot. You almost want to just throw it to the hog line. The ideal shot would be to be a little heavy and come through that port.
Stick a second rock in was always a good idea when you don't have hammer.
Tap the blue one up to the pot. Oh, boy. I hate to start trouble, but you never know. It's a funny game. So we're guarding the run back here.
Just needs to get over. It needs to curl. Needs to curl.
It might come through the hole
It might
here.
come through the port. Don't let it wreck.
Yeah,
It's through.
it's going to bounce. Well,
Not bad.
can still run the
Not
yellow.
bad. Not bad. Yep. I think you almost have to run the yellow.
Run the yellow again. It opens up that.
Boy, and I tell you, Michelle can throw weight here. If she hits this yellow rock correctly, she's going to take the blue one out and sit two guarded.
Well, MJ's looking at doubling them out, the yellow and the blue.
Getting a little.
I don't mind running the yellow, and if you come a little narrow, you bounce off the blue, you get that double anyway.
Yeah. It's outside.
You
Whoa.
double off the outside
Whoa.
rocks.
Whoa.
And that didn't work out at all.
Nope.
Now there's a wall of granite in front of shot stone. They'll have to think of something else. I think you'll have to start drawing the other side.
Yep. Or maybe take one last shot with Karen's rock here. I'm not sure.
You got 120
No curtain.
pounds of granite in
Yeah, and
front
she's
of the
got.
shot.
And she doesn't have the hammer here.
Right.
You got to leave this alone. What is that doing?
Come down and tap this one over.
I'm okay with that. If you're going to come on this side, trying to get rid of the yellow rock here is not a bad.
I don't care, over the hog line, just anywhere.
I don't see that yellow rock as terribly usable. I suppose they could nick it over.
Yeah, that's it.
Easier shot is the draw. I think cutting off the draw path
Seems
is
as though
the
both
winner.
skips are a little
leery of this-
terrified.
of that slow side of the ice.
There's excessive curl warnings over there on this side.
And excessive slow draws.
Yep. Danger sandpaper.
Yep.
Like if you ever saw a 42-pound piece of granite come to a complete stop
Yep.
and just stop.
It's about 2 inches from the forefoot. We're just about
Well, they could still run the Yellowstone, actually, just looking at the run back. That hasn't really changed. So if they're really desperate to open up this side, it is still there.
Can't imagine why she'd want to do that without hammer, but that's just me. This is the right call here. It's like a ton of weight. Through the house.
Yeah, this one's not going to dig in with that weight.
Pretty much threw it to the hack. And it did go to the hack. Unfortunate miss there for Karen. Did not want to be that heavy.
Well, 3 rocks left. The question is, do you start over or do you try to open it up? You can start
Well, I
over
think you
by
got to
just drawing
stick
top
one
4.
here. I think you got to stick one here if you're.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
think it's
MJ.
time to start over and draw a top 4, right?
Yeah, I agree. She's looking to peel here, but if you don't make, if you hit this thing, if you nut it, you're no further ahead of the game.
Yeah.
You got to
top
go.
4.
You got to absolutely go to the top button, even. Got to outcount the blue one.
Yep. Catch a piece of the 4 here. So there's a point in the end where you have to decide whether you're starting over, and this is the reset spot.
It's got plenty of room. This would be a weight-only shot.
The weight looks pretty good.
Yeah,
you
gotta
got
go.
to keep going.
Gotta
though.
go. Gotta go, go, go.
It's
Gotta
there.
go, go, go. Gotta go, go, go. It's not there, but it's not bad.
Oh man, that was just so close.
Yeah. Pretty good shot. Nice draw. They worked it over. Just a foot and a half too light. We know that shot can be made after looking at that rock.
That's right.
So nothing to fear over there, even though the excessive curl warnings and the
Slowness.
slow ice warnings. That looked like pretty much up to speed the way she threw it. They have thrown a couple of rocks down that end. So Liz Nolan sitting 1 with a 1-point lead here in the 6th end. Pardon me, we'll look to cut the rings down here. If she throws a good guard here, it'll be interesting to see if MJ, with her first rock, will try to run that yellow rock back that's just off the center line. If she hits it right, she could sit 3.
Could sit 3.
Yep. I think if she hits what she can see of it, she gets 3. Sits 3.
Pretty close, I would
Yep.
say. Yep.
Mm-hmm. We just don't want to touch this yellow stone. Looks real good. It's a nice shot here.
This is going to dig in.
This is a
short of
great
the
shot.
house. Leaves the draw path open,
Absolutely
though.
great shot.
Leaves the draw path open. There is enough curl here to catch a good piece of the 4.
So does MJ take a chance with her first one here? Let's see what they're going to discuss.
I think you save that for your last.
Because you might have to draw twice here to win the end, right?
Right. Let's draw once and get full 4. And if you get shot rocked, then you can run the yellow with impunity. You might get a mid full.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think you're drawing twice here.
I agree. I think she's got to throw it. She's not hesitating, but she's just thinking it over. And 4-foot circle is very accessible here, as what we saw by Michelle McEnroe's last shot.
Oh, when that curled a ton, it's sitting there on the
Yes,
center line.
yes, it did.
They had ice just inside the 8 foot.
Yep, so they had 5 feet of curl there, 4 feet.
Score of 1 here would be fine this end. The 6th end, you just want to be tied at this end. Keep the hammer in the 8th end.
Yep. First stone, 6th end, MJ Walsh with hammer. Looking to get a rock on the 4-foot circle here and be shot rock. It certainly looks like a lot of weight to me. But it's coming down.
Whoa, whoa.
No line.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's all there.
Nope, too heavy. Unfortunate there for MJ.
The line's perfect.
Had a great line.
That crossed full, almost full 4 foot.
Yeah. Wouldn't have hurt her to over curl to tap
Right.
that blue rock in either. Wouldn't have hurt her at all. So now, Liz Nolan is probably going to want to cut the rings down again.
Well, I come sit,
Yep.
bite top 4 here, and you have a good chance of stealing 2.
Cautiously throwing a guard. I guess the thought would be is that if you're a little unsure about where to, of your weight here, you wouldn't want to leave a rock right in the 8-foot circle for her to hit and roll off of either.
Right.
So the guard is a safe safe protocol here. Be interesting to see if MJ, if the good guard is executed here, will she go after this yellow rock just off the center for a bundle?
I think it's low risk. So
I do
mean,
too. I can't see where it hurts her.
If you don't have an option with a draw, then I think that's what you're left with. This one is going to over curl.
Yep, draw is still there on this side.
Yeah, the guard that's just thrown will simply not be in play.
Right.
Not in play.
They're not even looking at that other
Nope.
shot, Roger.
You're going to get your one here.
Yeah.
They just threw it and just need a small adjustment for weight.
Sure.
The ice was perfect on that last throw.
The beauty of that crowd pleaser shot that we're talking about would be it would pretty much, if you make it, it's lights out.
Give you a pretty good advantage going into the last
Sure
two
would.
ends.
So she just threw this shot. She was a little heavy.
Just
Line
about-
was great.
Yep. Just a couple of brooms heavy. Line's a
Little
bit tighter
tighter.
on this one. Yep.
Tighter. Tighter. If it's by up. If it's by up.
This is really close.
If it's by up, it's not by. Boy, the weight was perfect too. She just a little inside.
Got a little inside. Yep.
Blue's going to steal one and take a 2-point lead after 6. 7-5. Good try there from MJ.
Yep. Made the correction on the weight. Just the line was just a shade tighter, and with the curl on that side of the sheet, couldn't squeeze by the guard.
Yep. Nine to 13 inches of snow were predicted. I'm noticing on my phone here we have a winter storm warning for Onondaga, Madison, Oneida, and Shenango counties and Otsego counties in New York. Heavy snow, brief periods of sleet of freezing rain this afternoon, gusty winds as well. Accumulations, we've only seen light snow thus far, 1 to 2 inches. Additional snowfall for the area, 9 to 13 inches through Monday. So,
Guess I'll be cranking up the snowblower in the morning.
oh yeah, I just filled mine up with gas and got it pointed to the door. I never had one until a couple of years ago, and I completely saved my back having the snowblower when we get heavy snow air.
Yeah, nice rock.
Becky Schaefer has thrown really nice rocks all game. Kudos to her. MJ going to play aggressive and go for the pot here or not? Nope.
Go for the corner guard.
Yep. She tippy-tapped behind the guard with her first thought, but
MJ had an end going last time around the corner guard, but ran afoul of a miss, helping the other team to the pot. Try to duplicate a good setup with a hammer of the corner guards again this end.
if I'm not mistaken, is Becky also a new curler?
Not this year, I don't think.
No, okay.
She's been, I'm going to say second or third year.
Okay. And I think Julie is a first-year curler. They've curled really. They don't
Julie's-
look like new
Julie's
curlers.
second year.
Yep,
Yep.
great. They don't look like relatively inexperienced curlers at all.
I think Julie and Becky both were in curling school.
Okay.
So
It's really
got
great
some,
to see.
got some deliveries instruction early on, and
Yeah.
I think that helps.
Sure does. They're both real solid. I don't think this is through the park. No, that blue rock's going to stay on the rings. Back park.
No factor.
Nope. Now MJ will take her pick where she wants to draw to.
Get around the corner guard and can peel that center out later. Line looks good. Now it's starting to over curl.
Come up for the raise, I guess. And they got it on the rings, so it's not bad. Not all bad.
Yep. It's a potential counter.
Yes, it is. However, not counting the one in the back. Not out counting the one in the back. Liz is going to aggressively go after this rock, which is probably a good shot, good idea. I like getting rid of this rock.
Yeah, if you can, why not? With a
Flop over
2-point
to the
lead.
center. You can guard the center if you hit it right. Don't know if it's by. It is, and it's going to flop. Great shot. Nice shot from Brenda Citronetti. Well thrown.
One of those two rocks definitely needs to go.
Yep. The beauty of going after the one on to MJ's right would be you might be able to skitter behind the other blue one and get on the rings.
Right. Tough roll though. You have to hit it pretty thin.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go after
She's
the
tight.
going after the guard that's covering
Nope.
the shot
They
rock.
swept
in the
it
back.
right out though, easy. Oh, she's going after the other one. I'm sorry. Okay. No double.
Definitely want to roll this one away. There you go. And then they
That's
have
a
a
good
nice
shot.
corner guard on the other side.
Nice shot from Barb Felice. Very nice. Nicely thrown. Good outcome. Open the center up. And Liz Nolan very positively will put another center guard up. Don't mind touching the rings here.
You want to be a little careful here. If you leave things in the rings in the open, then the team with a hammer is just going to keep killing those rocks and rolling onto the rings. At some point, if you have a half shot, you could drop a bucket load.
Oh, you don't want to be full on the rings. Just if it's a
Right.
nose hit, then you won't
Yep.
be on. This is great where it is. Yep.
And now I think if you want your deuce, you have to come around something. I think you're getting to the point in the end where you want to start using these guards.
Definitely.
Yeah, the blue one there is actually blocking their access. I think once you get rid of that, both corner guards come into play.
Yep. Then you can start stuffing.
If you could spin this on the rings, and you do have a chance to hit the one in the back. It is accessible with either turn right now. This one's wide. You're going to catch the other guard, and that's not a bad result either.
Nope.
So that works okay. Just one of those blues had to go to open up the rings.
She's going to put this back. Series of half shots here for Team Walsh, making it relatively easy for Liz Nolan to put her guards back in play.
Wow, this one's going to be just barely over the hog line.
Now we got to go. Now we should be drawn. Yep.
thing is with those high guards, the team that's trying to steal can't really use them very well. The team with the hammer can use them pretty effectively.
Very opportune time for Michelle McEnroe to get a rock on the rings behind guards.
Top 8 here would
Top
be
8 would be
perfect.
dandy. They're working it. It's definitely got room. I don't know if it has the legs to get there, though. MJ's going to jump out and help. It looks like they're going to carry it.
Yeah, they're going to make it all the way to the 8-foot.
They are. That's a beautiful, beautiful shot for Michelle.
You don't want to go too deep on this because you could get behind it. So that's actually a very good
Perfect.
spot.
Well, game on.
Now Deuce is in the offing. What's nice about that high blue guard is we can stuff another rock on top of the one just thrown and sit 2.
So the call here should be a freeze on this rock, I would say. Or if there's enough room, I mean, there's really enough room to get by and chip it out.
Well, Liz
The way it curls, you know.
maybe. Liz Nolan's team needs to get a rock in the house and cut the scoring area
Correct.
down. Right now, the scoring area is pretty much the entire house.
Yeah, and then you don't no blood here if she gives up one either.
Right. So I think throwing a freeze here will at least start to limit the damage. Probably looking at dropping
Corner
no
freeze
more
is a
than
great
2.
shot here, huh?
Yes.
Corner freeze is a great shot. Just don't want to bounce. No bounce.
Yeah, you
In the
pop
words
it.
of my pal Mike Kessler, no bounce.
Yeah, you pop in the open and suddenly 3's in play.
Correct.
Going for a
She's
little
by.
going for a little tap back.
Yep, no bounce. Going to be right in the open.
And this is going to pop right in the middle.
Oh, boy.
And that's not a great
That
spot.
is not exactly what you wanted to do there.
Now you can hit and roll
A little
under
unfortunate
again.
for Karen. Good throw. Little heavy. And not a great outcome. If Michelle could hit and roll under these guards on the left,
Put 3
she's
in
in
play.
business.
Yep.
Or roll either way, for
Either
that
way.
fact.
Either way, yep. Easiest rolls is to the right here,
Correct.
for sure.
Yep. Just don't want to nose it if you can help it. Or hit it just off nose and leave yourself in the center.
And this
Left
was
it
set,
out a little bit.
way
She
out.
set this out. Nope. Roll it.
Got to get as far as you can.
Good news is that it got on the rings. Bad news is that blue is still sitting 1. So for Liz, the center guard here would be optimal.
Yep.
You could even be real naughty here and just put
Yeah.
a little tap on this blue one and just tap it over behind the yellow one. A lot of ways to make this shot if she's heavy.
Yeah, even if you tap this to the back
Yep.
4, you're probably all right.
I think so. Throwing guard. Liz Nolan's first rock here in the 7th end in a very exciting final to our Calder trophy. Looks like she's achieved a very nice shot here. No further. Good shot. Well thrown. Great spot.
Well, you and I had to run this, Stone.
Oh, without question.
Straight back.
Yeah. Without question. Across the face a little bit.
Yep.
Boop, boop. Seems easy from up here. And that's what she's going to do. Give herself a chance here. Opening up the front end.
Yeah, even if you nose it and leave your shooter there,
Not
then
horrible.
You have at least you give yourself a chance to score one.
Right. As long as she doesn't nut it, she's going to be shot rock.
Right. Even if you nut it, you're
Yeah.
shot rock.
Right.
Just got to move it off.
Yeah. Just don't want to run it into it.
Yeah. And then give yourself a chance to score with your last. Somehow. Got a couple angle raises. Even a peel here makes Liz throw the guard again.
Yep, it does. MJ Walsh, first rock, seventh end.
Set that one out as well. Need to redirect.
Play the tick. It's going right through. Unfortunate miss there for
Oh, they
MJ.
needed a little redirect.
Yep.
Yeah, both Michelle and MJ set their interns out just a little bit. And that is the straight side. So once you set them, they're not going to come.
I heard her say to her sweepers right before she threw it, I'm not going to pick my weight up at all. And in fact, she may have done that. Unfortunate. Pretty much a story at this end for Team Liz Nolan to pretty much guarding up. They've almost been guarding up the whole end. And continuing here with her last rock.
Yeah, last two ends, they've been able to guard up mistakes.
Yep.
Where they've actually been left or promoted.
Whoops. A little miscue getting out of the hack there for Liz, but she seemed to recovered and looks like she's got a really good guard coming here if they make the hog line with it. They're working it. This is big trouble for MJ. Perfect shot.
Well, it's still going to leave the run back. Just have to throw the other turn at it. There's the out turn run back still there. Not sure they're looking at it.
Yep. She's looking at the double run back. Whew. Not sure I'd want to throw this.
You got to hit this pretty thin. This would be like a quarter rock.
Yep.
With a bucket of weight.
Don't want to get silly and nose it and take yourself out. Take second rock out either. Because that could be a Velcro ripper.
I think you'd have to be pretty unlucky to take your second rock out.
Yeah, if you nose this thing.
Yeah, if you nose you're okay, then you'll
Across the face.
stick for second shot.
Oh boy. Nope.
Wide.
Yep. Not coming back.
Inside out.
Yep. Unfortunate there for MJ. Weight was real good for it too. So blew a steal of one. Liz Nolan steals another one to make the score 8-5 after 7. MJ Walsh with her work cut out for her, needing 3 to tie. Here coming for home.
With the yellow rocks.
Liz Nolan asking her lead, Becky Schaefer, to throw through with her first one. Don't want to leave MJ anything to freeze to. And in fact, that's what she did.
All right, to get your 3, you need 2 corner guards and a half shot. So Easily done. Got to be patient. Got to get your corner guards up. Wait for that half shot. And you should be able to set up a 3-spot. First steps to get a corner guard.
It was an interesting game up to, you look at the way the score is, it was 5-0 for Team Nolan, and then MJ got, with a beautiful shot, took 4 in the third end, and she's only been able to score in one other end, and that was immediately after that to tie it at 5.
Right.
Since then, it's been a steal game for Team Nolan.
Well, it's been one critical miss each end when
Yeah,
they've had
that's true.
they've had the end set up for a good score. And then they've had one critical miss late.
Yep.
Which has put them behind the 8 ball.
That gives a whole new meaning to throw through.
Yeah. Took a long time for that to get through.
Well done by Becky.
Yeah.
She's curled nicely all day,
Yeah.
too. Hats off to her. We all know how hard medals are to come by in this club,
Oh,
both
yeah.
from a lady curling perspective, a mixed curling, and men's curling. It's, you don't get a lot of medals to show for. And we're setting up another corner here. Nicely thrown. Again, Julia Darris has also thrown very good rocks all day. Kudos to both leads who have played very well.
And that was going to slip just in the rings. Makes it a little bit harder to get your 3.
I like coming this way too. It's been running pretty straight here all afternoon. Don't need a bazooka. Don't need a bazooka shot here.
Right.
Just hit the broom.
Solid board weight. And
Yep. Looks a little down, but I think she's all over it.
Yes, yes, all the way. Yes, yes. Come on. Hurry up. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Nice shot. Nice. Giddy up.
And I'm not sure MJ needs to take this rock out.
to freeze to it.
Yeah, you got to freeze to it. And taking this rock out is not, down 3 is not probably, I'm not sure what she's thinking about. But anyways, strategy of the game, down 3 here. These rocks are your friend. Draw behind it. Being in front of it is,
Yeah, I like having the control position and
you need this rock.
yep. Play some setup shots.
And unfortunately, Barb set this rock out. This is going right by.
Welcome to our world, Barb. Show us in the air, out in the air. Get rid of this one.
Yeah, could have even thrown a corner guard there and just ignore that rock. Again, it's not going anywhere.
Nope. Move it around, tap it around. Anywhere in front of it, you and I have had this conversation
Yep.
ad nauseum. Down 3, you need every rock in play that you can possibly,
Right.
regardless of what color they are. At this point, you don't care if you lose by 5 or 6. You got to have.
You either
rocks
need
to
them up
freeze
front or,
to,
in the,
yeah,
or in the
right.
back 12 where you can use
Yeah.
them for backers.
All right, there's a little bit of a break here.
Got one on the rings.
That's
you
that's
need
okay.
to need to freeze to one here.
Yep.
I like freezing on the one in the top 12.
Or there.
Even one on the side, either one. Just pick a rock to freeze to. Coming around's not bad either.
No, you just can't leave it in the O. You got to throw a perfect draw.
Yeah, and you may have to go back 4, back 8 to get it
Yeah,
covered.
and that's okay.
That still sets up a score.
Looks pretty good. Short's okay here. It's not the end of the world.
You can use that to hit and roll behind later.
Yep.
The other option here is if when you're sitting 1-2 is go ahead and peel that center guard. Two ways. Either way, you need to get rid of yellow rock here, I think.
Yeah, obviously the only risk is if you jam it on something. But
Yep.
you know, I think going after this rock here, I like coming with this turn here. I have seen this piece of ice with our in-turn curl like crazy. I think you have a better chance of making this shot with the out-turn.
Should run a little straighter here, too.
She set it straight, too. She left this rock straight. This is not going to come and get it.
Well, we know how much it curls the other way,
Yeah.
so you know it has
It's
to
going
be
to
a
be
little straight in this
Right,
direction.
exactly.
Right?
Now MJ with some options here. She's running out of bullets here, so she's got to freeze to something again or stuff one. Now I guess you could go for a draw here.
If you want to set up your three, one of the
Gotta
options is go ahead and hit and roll under now. Get
Yep,
rid of a
boom,
rock,
boom,
and
yep.
now you're sitting second and third or first and
Correct.
third. I think this is the time. I mean, if you're going to hit, you need to make sure the shooter is hidden somewhere.
True. Even rolling over in front of the other one
That would, yeah.
be okay too.
Even if you say hit and roll and froze on the other one would be fine. But now they have the biter out here on the far side. You'd like to bring that one back into play. That's a bullet you don't have to expend. This might get the flop.
Still wide.
Let's get the flop.
Still wide. Boom.
That's okay. Oh, it didn't have enough weight.
Not sure that rock isn't out over there, that yellow rock, but up here.
Yeah, I didn't see.
We got to tell Liz that Joe Cosentino out in California said to
Yeah.
tell Liz that the Explorer Photography Workshop gang said hello. Oh, shout out to Liz. And Karen tightened up her line a little bit.
And a little bit less weight and got it this time.
So 3 rocks left here now for
They need to score all three.
MJ. She needs to score them all. So she's got to
Put 'em all.
freeze something, just behind something, freeze to something.
Or
Still
hide them
would-
behind the center
Hide them
guard.
behind the center guard.
I like going behind the center guard. You can probably get 2 behind the center guard.
Yes, you can.
Then you can hit for your third.
Come on, go, go, go.
Get her buried. You want to get her buried.
Sorry.
I think even if you're back 4, you want to get that buried.
Absolutely, you got to get it behind the guard. Did you and MJ drive together today?
Indeed.
You did, okay.
No sense in taking 2 cars up here.
Yep.
It's only 2 you have to dig out
Yeah.
when you drive in a ditch.
Subarus don't go in ditches.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Well, virtual end of the game here shot for Liz Nolan. If she can chip this yellow rock away, she'll pretty much assure that she and her rink are going to be the Calder Memorial Trophy champs this year. In a very well-played curling game. As always, enjoy being with Roger Rowlett. We missed Doug today. And this is money. This is a money shot. Game, set, and match here for Liz.
Nice
Beautiful
weight.
shot. And a well-deserved win.
And well done. Congratulations to
Very nice.
Liz Nolan's rink.
Yep. Very nice.
Well played game. Score didn't indicate the closeness of that game.
No,
It
I
was,
so agree.
Just a couple of ill-timed misses and the last few ends opened the door for Liz Nolan's rink, and they are the 2016 Calder League champions. They had a mini-way tie for the league lead, I think a 3-way tie for the league, so it was a tough road getting to here.
A nice warm congratulations to everybody out there who played in the game today. It was a pleasure to have called this game with my pal Roger Rowlett, and the ladies really didn't disappoint. They delivered a superb curling game out there today, and it was fun to be a part of. So kudos to again, there's no losers in curling. So congratulations to the winners, and congratulations to second place.
All right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed our webcast today. We'll be signing off for now, but we'll be back for the Cobb Bonspiel in just a few days.
Yep, thanks, Roger. Have a great day, folks. Safe driving out there.